Was it an Arabian's night, or was he cut short by a Kiwi buzzsaw?
Did the voluptuous Viper topple the towering Texan?
And was the luck of the Irish with Devlin, or did an Australian anomaly have an ace in the hole? Gentlemen, raise your beverages. It is an NXT party.
Support, no DQ.
Welcome everybody to the NXT party for episode number 41 of NXT UK. I'm your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stefan Osborne, joined as always by the General, Jerry Slaughter.
Good evening, wrestling fans.
And tonight, our special guests in order, we've got Chris Mace. How are you doing, Chris?
Doing good, y'all. Glad to be back.
And we've got Colin Andrew. How's it going, Colin?
I'm good. We in Brooklyn, y'all.
Yep.
We still in Brooklyn.
The Holiday and the Cleaver, respectively. Thank you guys for joining us. I think this was a much better show than we had last week.
Oh my God! Last
Absolutely.
week was a shit show.
And in that vein, we do have something to unveil. Chris here has a daughter who is very artistic, and I believe we did an unboxing of this at the end of an episode of something.
What's NXT?
What's NXT last
What's
week?
NXT?
For those that actually hung around and watched, and we want to show this off on this show. Didn't want to do it last week because it was a piece of shit episode of NXT UK, for one, and for two, we didn't have Chris with us anyway. Tonight we do, so I'm going to edit me out going to get that, and then I'll be right back with it.
No, we won't edit this. Dun, dun, dun.
It's too late. It's already edited. Probably. We're done.
Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun,
So,
dun.
there's yours.
Yep.
So, let's see how close we can get it with that.
There we are. Hey, and we are calling on this side. Isn't that weird?
Interesting.
That's weird. Yes.
Check it out.
That's us.
Yay.
All right.
Chris's daughter did that for us.
Yes.
And Chris graciously mailed it to us. This is awesome. This is possibly the coolest gift I have ever gotten in my life.
Yeah.
Fan art of me. That's crazy.
She caught my perpetual exhaustion perfectly.
And even though it's a red bulb, she got orange all through my side. You
Yep.
got the blue. Yeah, this might be the coolest thing I've ever gotten.
We really do appreciate it.
So thank you very much, Chris. And
Hey, no problem.
thank your daughter for us as well.
I will.
What we'll probably end up doing is like
Yeah,
we'll probably hang them up like back where the Union Jack flag is for the NXT broadcast. So
Yeah, it's art. It belongs on the wall.
yes,
So, moving on to the show.
yes.
Oh,
Tonight was 42 minutes long, and so I knew automatically we were getting 3 matches at most.
Because of the main event alone.
And we did. At least we didn't get 2 matches, but this show went by very fast, and obviously it's going to. Our first match of the night was Travis Banks versus Mansoor, who we just saw on NXT the night previous. Well, they come out on the same day, but we watch it at night.
Yeah, we watched one night.
So, again, we get to see Mansoor, and as opposed to his showing in NXT, tonight he's a heel.
Yeah, he's a good heel though. He wasn't like that usual Arabian, my nationality is better than yours. He was in I'm better than you mode, which is always my favorite kind of heel. So,
Chris, what did you think about Mansoor, and what did you think about this match?
I like him better as a heel. I thought he did a real good job in the match. I was actually impressed with Travis Banks. Like I said, I don't really have much confidence in him unless he's wrestling Devlin, but he actually impressed me tonight, what he did. He actually showed he can actually be a ring general when he has to be. So I was pretty impressed with the match. I was actually kindly surprised.
What about you, Chris? Or Colin? Sorry.
Colin, yes.
Yeah.
thought it was a good match. I think it's the best work I've seen out of Banks since, like last really takeover event, that little feud he had with Devlin and everything. But crap, what's the dude's name again?
Mansoor.
Mansoor.
Yeah, Mansoor. I can't. it's just weird for me. But
well, it's
no,
it's
he
it's the
played
place you go into after you go down a manhole. You go into the man sewer.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you have a man sore on you, then you got to worry. So.
Oh, that's even worse.
Oh.
That's how you remember his name.
Jerry, what do you think about this losing effort by Mansoor?
I don't consider it a losing effort because this guy entertained me the entire match. I think if anything, he carried the match. He sold extremely well. Travis Banks is just a flurry of kicks for me, and that's it. Granted, you said that's why he's called the Buzzsaw. It's a great defense for him and everything, but he still doesn't impress me. He didn't impress me in his feud with Devlin. He just doesn't do anything for me. Mansoor was just all over the place in this match. Pulled off the sickest move I think we saw for the rest of the evening even. And that's including a match that involved Jordan Devlin and fucking Walter. So, kudos to Mansoor. Granted, you got tossed around like a what do you say? It's like a Trent 7.
Tossed out like a Trent 7.
He got tossed around like that last night, but this match, he let his heel light shine. He did a fantastic job. Kudos to Mansoor. Travis Banks, whatever, dude. You won. Great. Good for you.
Enjoy the victories.
Yeah, flat face.
One of the very few he gets.
The shape of his head looks like he belongs on that show Phineas and Ferb.
He looks like a fucking pug.
So my first note of this match actually is the referee. Jessica, the women's ref,
Yeah.
is reffing a men's match. I'm not positive if this is the first time she's done that.
She's done it before, but it's like
Maybe
a rare.
once.
It's a rarity. It really is. So.
I am actually looking forward to Jessica getting called up to the main roster and being a female ref on either Raw or SmackDown.
That'd be great either way.
Looking forward to that. The match, however, it was all right. It was fairly entertaining. We've got a spot like Jerry said. Banks is nothing but a flurry of kicks. So he kicks Mansoor's leg out from under him as he's running at him in the corner, and it puts Mansoor face first into the turnbuckle. That was pretty cool looking. We had Banks with a running drop kick to Mansoor's head coming off of that, which looked pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
But then Mansoor dodges the slice of heaven, kind of slides underneath it, and then he ends up doing like that double palm thrust or to the neck.
Throat thrust, more or less.
Looks like a choke. It's
Yeah,
an illegal
little,
maneuver, really.
Little throat chop.
Yeah, he does that, catches him, and then puts him in a reverse DDT that he swings over, and I call this an inverted curtain call, because that's almost exactly what it was. He lifts him up, and he swings him over like a curtain call.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was pretty sick looking. I'm not sure if it's the sickest move I've seen all night, but we'll get to that.
I'll say, okay, then we won't say sickest, I'll say most innovative.
Surely the coolest thing I saw all night that I've never seen before.
There we go. We'll go with that. Innovative.
In the end, we saw Travis Banks dodges Mansoor's like trying to go off the ropes, and Banks just runs to the corner and then comes off with the slice of heaven and then hits the Kiwi Crusher, which is just like a vertical or maybe a fisherman's Michinoku driver.
It's a key crusher Low-Key used to do.
He gets the pinfall, and it was all right. It was entertaining.
Mansoor's shoulders were clearly off the mat on Travis Banks' legs, but we're gonna go ahead and ignore that.
Oh yeah, Banks had Mansoor's head in his lap, and his shoulder was clearly not on the mat, but the ref couldn't even see it, and poor girl. So up next we've got the weirdest promo I've seen on NXT UK.
Yes.
We've got Xia Brookside in the Performance Center, and she's talking to the camera, and she's got all these like, I don't know, emoji looking stuff going on in the camera that's interacting with her that is not natural. So it's a little bit contrived, and she's talking a little funny. In the end of it, she's flying or something, and she like zooms off with her arms
Air
out.
Brookside, yeah.
Holy crap, this was weird. What did you think about it, Colin?
I felt like I was watching a really, 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 really bad children's promo for like a British Mr. Rogers ripoff. It was dog shit. Okay.
The only quality information at all in this promo was her saying that she's going to take the loss and then she's going to get stronger and better and turn it into wins.
Yeah.
Not much tells us that that's going to happen, but she says she's going to take us on that journey. So maybe this is going to be a series of promos where we watch her do performance center stuff and then fly off. What do you think about this, Chris?
Oh, Lord. I don't know what to make of this fucking damn promo she did. The only thing I was thinking the whole time is, damn, you are one sexy woman. But other than that, that's all I was thinking about the whole time. I don't understand. I didn't give a shit about what she said. It was like, what's the point of any of this?
Jerry?
Well, with Zaya Brookside, she's got a lot to prove at this point, because as far as a lot of people are concerned there, she's just pretty much daddy's girl, since like her dad helps run the performance center over there. But at the same time, if it's gonna be her character, great. We've already got Bray Wyatt doing the Firefly Funhouse. Why not have her over here doing almost like lamb chop type shit? Whatever. She's still gonna lose. She's still not gonna be that great. She needs Team Candy Floss, make a run for the women's titles after a bit. But otherwise, I really have no feelings for Zaya Brookside whatsoever.
Yeah. To me, this was just overall odd.
Yeah.
Odd.
I was about to say, that's coming off a week where we had Velveteen Dream rewrite the national anthem.
Well, the important thing here is it doesn't get me excited about anything.
No, it doesn't.
In the least, it doesn't get me excited about more of these videos of her. So, I don't know. This might be the worst promo I've seen on NXT UK thus far.
Yeah.
I think it's the worst.
Coming off of this, we've got a video package for the soon-to-debut Ilha Dragunov.
This guy looks like a badass.
And,
he looks badass.
Yeah, is anybody currently not looking forward to seeing this guy wrestle after that video package?
Oh, I'm ready for him to come in now.
Yep.
I think they need him. They need him soon. What about you, Colin?
Can you pronounce his name one more time? Because I was trying to
Dragunov.
Ilha Dragunov. ILJADRAGUNOV.
I mean, his whatever contacts he was wearing looked pretty cute. That promo was pretty dope. The vignette package, whatever you want to call it.
Did you just call that dude cute?
Yeah, as he said, he had cute eyes, is what he said.
This was all video footage and commentary from other promotions. I'm assuming ones that WWE is actually partnering with or working with in the UK.
I'm pretty sure he came from Progress or WXW, but I want to say Progress.
Anyway, it's an NXT video package. It was great. There's not much else to say about it.
It was good.
Nina Samuels is up next. She's having a promo in the back in front of like an actor's or like a stage actor's vanity mirror with the bulbs, old school. And she was comparing having leading roles in acting to victories in wrestling. And that's what she's been doing, is accumulating victories. And I can think of maybe 2 that she's had total.
She's had 2 in a row.
But they weren't against anybody of note. I'm sure I made a note, but it didn't really matter.
They're pretty much enhancement talents.
So they're building her up and, I don't know, giving depth to her character maybe. So I'm not opposed to this, but I was slightly bored by it. What about you, Chris? What do you think about this promo?
I was bored to death by the promo. It didn't, like I said, the only purpose it served is maybe setting up Tony Storm's next challenger.
That's it.
So, I mean, like I said, I'm no big fan of Tony Storm having the title right now. So at this point, I'm ready for anybody to beat her and take the title off her.
But not Nina Samuels. Come on. What about you, Colin?
Yeah, Nina Samuels is not the one to take the title on Tony Storm as much as I'm not a Tony Storm fan either. But yeah, the promo, basic, vanilla. obviously they're building her towards something. So eventually, you would think Tony Storm versus, but whatever. She only has there's 2 wins, but it's 2 in a row. So I guess winning multiple matches in a row, gets you somewhere. So see what happens with it. We'll see what next week brings. See if there's another vignette.
Well, she's talking about Tony Storm specifically. She wants the title, or at least an opportunity at it, and I guess 2 wins in a row is nice. If she can get another one, I'd say 3 wins in a row. Yeah, you should at least get an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen several other people get opportunities with fewer wins in a row. Just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Showing up.
After this, we've got a women's match. We've got Piper Niven versus Reina Gonzalez, who is technically NXT, but we are in New York, and they mentioned the NXT cousins of NXT and NXT UK having a lot of these matches. And as far as size goes, Reina Gonzalez is pretty big. I mean, she's tall.
She's tall.
And thick. And not fat, but she comes out with like a bull rope and this Texan gimmick, and okay.
She
She's
needed
like
more
the JBL
cowbell.
of.
She needed more cowbell to beat Piper Niven.
I have one note for this match, and that's the end of it. And Piper Niven hits a Michinoku driver for the pinfall. I think before that she hit like a cross body that ends in a splash that looks pretty devastating. And then what she hit after that, it was like a senton off the rope. Like she came off the ropes with a running senton, but ended it with the elbow.
Kind of turned it into an elbow, yeah.
But no notes in this match. Nothing
I wrote Michinoku driver myself.
Yeah.
So that and more cowbell.
What did you think about this match, Colin?
Well, she came down with the bull rope and the cowbell and stuff, and kind of reminded me of like Justin Hawk Bradshaw back in the day.
Yeah.
Bradshaw. I thought it was an okay match. It was a pissing contest at first, battle of the strongest women, I'm going to hit you off this rope, I'll see what you got, slapping hands. But I'm glad to see Piper get the win, because it's her second match at NXT, and she came in with a little bit of momentum on Rhea Ripley's expense. So, obviously they're going to build her up to be a contender too, eventually down the road for the title. I like her finishing move, but I feel like the Michinoku driver is just like everybody's finisher anymore. Or at least there's a lot of modifies, but it is what it is. I thought it was a good match. We'll see what happens next, and then we'll see what happens next for Gonzalez in NXT.
Well, you mentioned a lot of Michinoku drivers, but the previous match ended with a fucking Michinoku driver.
Yeah.
So
I know.
If Walter was capable of hitting a Michinoku driver, I'm sure that's how the main event would have ended.
Michinoku driver number 1.
Yes. What do you think about this, Chris?
I was not really impressed with this match. Like I said, it made Gonzalez look strong, but it made Piper Niven look really weak towards the end to me. I just wasn't really impressed with Piper Niven in this match. I think Gonzalez had way too much offense in the match, and I just wasn't impressed. If we're building Piper Niven up to face Rhea Ripley, I think she needs to be a heck of a lot more dominant in her match. I know it's her second match, but to me, she looked really weak in this match until the ending, and I just wasn't really impressed with this match.
Yeah, 90% of the offense goes to Reina Gonzalez, and then Piper Niven comes back at the end for the win, basically. Babyface story here. What do you think about this match, Jerry?
I think Chris pretty much nailed it on the head with the fact that they're trying to build Piper Niven as to being this, like, the strong, tall, she's supposed to be the new big dog here, and supposed to be striking fear into Rhea Ripley, but she's having problems with somebody just debuting in the company that day. And then sure enough, like, we didn't see Ripley or anything. She didn't come out and make her presence known in any way, shape, or form. But at the same time, Piper didn't really show us anything different. And she looks like she had just as much trouble with the this chick as she did with Killer Kelly last time. And so she's not really coming off that strong. She's coming in with a big name, but otherwise, she's not really impressing me at all.
Agreed. So after this, we've got a backstage promo with Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan. They're talking about Gibson and Drake and how they've been disrespecting them, and they're trying to counter that with how long that they've been in the business. And I'm kind of over this already. I just want to see the match and see this feud, if you could call it that, end. I don't care who wins. At this point, I would rather see Gibson and Drake retain, but at this point, I don't care who wins. Just end it. I'm tired of seeing Amir Jordan get in the ring and do that dance, and Kenny Williams look at him like, why are you even my partner? It's like, if that's the dynamic you're going to show in the ring, it doesn't fucking make sense.
No.
Yeah.
You can't be successful tag team and have one partner look at the other one like he's crazy.
Well, I was about to say, the only time I've ever seen it actually happen was Colt Cabana and CM Punk as the second seed Saints. They were able to pull it off. Colt had his humor. CM Punk was always super serious, but at the same time, these two are not Colt and Punk. They're two lightweights that are just trying to make a name for themselves, and until they get more established, they start taking more serious steps in their matches.
Let's call this what it is. This is a jobber team that's getting a slight push to go against the champions so that they can job, but have 3 or 4 victories under their belts going in.
Yeah.
So they look credible, but at the same time, they're a jobber team. Right?
Yeah, they are.
And I will always remember that, including if they win the titles.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to be like, okay, so they're transitional champions. Who's getting the titles now?
Drew Bartel.
So, Colin, what did you think about this promo?
I'm over it. I've been over it. I've never been about it. I've never liked it. I don't like Kenny Williams. I don't like Amir Jordan. I don't think they deserve to be in the tag team title picture yet at all. If they win, they win. If they don't, they don't. But like you said, they can be transitional champions, but they are honestly like a Hawkins and Ryder of NXT UK.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. So, Chris, is there anything redeemable about this team, either together or separately?
No. I'll say it point blank. No, I'm just so tired of them, both of them. Like I said, when one partner's looking at the other partner, like, why the hell am I with you? That doesn't really show any kind of team chemistry. On top of that, like I said, at this point, it's like, just get this feud over with, this little feud over with. Let's get to the match. Let the Grizzly Young Veterans retain the titles, and let's get them somebody better to compete against. Like I said, I want to see a damn good match for them defending the tag titles. I don't know what to think about this, really.
I'm kind of behind Kenny Williams as a solo act, though.
Yeah.
When I think Kenny Williams, I think that cannonball drop kick to the outside where he holds on, skins the cat, runs the ropes again, and comes back with a suicide dive. Like, fucking Kenny Williams can do some shit.
Yeah.
He's pretty exciting off of a hot tag from Amir Jordan after getting beat up for 45 minutes.
I can see him seeing more in 205 Live than I can actually see him doing anything in NXT UK.
That would be awesome. In fact, move both of them over to 205 Live and start a cruiserweight tag division.
Yeah.
Just saying. After this, we've got a promo from Gallus, and they are, I'm assuming, in Glasgow, Scotland, where NXT UK apparently is coming to possibly next.
For the next
tapings?
The next tapings, yes.
And they're basically talking about how they love being home, but it's awfully ugly. Isn't it?
Very ugly.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's ugly, but it's home. What did you think about this promo, Chris?
I thought it was a pretty damn good promo. Like I said, I'm just ready to see how this plays out. Like I said, they need to get back on their winning ways and get a few wins under their belts, and let's see what they do. Like I said, as long as the Grizzly Young Veterans are tag champions, I don't see them challenging for the tag belt. So is that foreshadowing of things to come for next week with the tag title match?
Possibly.
That could be the case. I didn't even think about that.
Colin?
Good promo. Gallus, I like them as a unit. They mentioned that Glasgow is Gallus at the end. Obviously, they're outside of some arena.
Yeah.
And I believe next week they're going to be in Glasgow. I think you said next week we show them, or something along those lines. But yeah, I thought it was a good promo. It was actually nice to hear Mark talking, because normally he's the silent, or the silenter one out of all of them.
Yeah.
Well done. See how it plays out. Hopefully, one way or the other, they get in the tag division here soon somehow.
This was really well shot. To me, it looked oddly cinematic.
Yeah.
But and the sound was done really well, even though you could tell that the wind was probably a problem.
Yeah.
But
it needs
very well done.
It's
NXT.
Scotland.
I mean, what do you think about this, Jerry?
Well, my thing was more and more so, I can't understand a thing that Joe Coffey says. Like Mark and Wolfgang are just kind of nodding, but then Joe Coffey's coming off some Scottish mumble rap shit half the time when he's talking, and I'm like, okay, I'm piecing together a couple words here.
Very slow mumble.
And I'm like, okay, I kind of understand what you're saying here. I kind of feel you. I got the intensity. I got that because you kept cutting to you with your hair flipping back. Yeah, I know you're being a badass, so we're good. But otherwise, yeah, I'm excited to see what's next for them, especially if it's going to be in their homeland, on home ground. So.
Kind of reminds me of Boomhauer from King of the Hill. Come on, man. No, come on, man. Come on, man.
There you go. Glasgow's gone. Yo.
Support, no DQ.
So we are on to the main event. Tonight we've got Jordan Devlin versus Walter. Non-title, that is important, although I don't think the outcome would have been any different.
No, not really.
I'm going to start with you, Jerry. What did you think about the main event?
It was everything I was hoping it was going to be. It was very physical. These guys have wrestled each other before, as Noah Foster has told me quite a few times. And it was just really great to actually see these two in ring together, title or not. It was going to be a great match regardless. It was brutal. It had a lot of great spots. The crowd was definitely woken up by this match. They were the second Walter hit out there. They were just all about this match. They were already psyched when Devlin came out, but at the same time, like when Walter came out, everybody was in attention.
Yeah.
Like eyes were on the ring. You had people chanting.
They got their second wind as soon as Walter's music hit.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Yep.
And that's a sign of a great champion. But I'm going to let these guys talk about it a little bit first, and I'll explain more of what I thought about the match after when I'm doing my own,
So, Chris, what did you think about the main event?
Oh, it was a fucking badass main event. I liked the way Devlin had to change up his strategy a little bit, just going after Walter, first playing chicken shit, heel with him, just running back and forth, getting away from him and stuff like that. Then they just going after the leg, keep telling the story, going after the leg, using psychology. Like I said, Devlin didn't get all his greatest hits in for sure, but like I said, that was a damn good match. And like I said, I think whether it was intentional or I know it wasn't intentional, but accidentally, like I said, that blood really, I think, made a difference in the match when you see clearly that Walter was bleeding. And you can see the blood. You can see the referee clearly trying to put his glove on, trying to clean it up. Like I said, I thought that made the match even more interesting because of the blood and gave it more of a real fight feel how they were going at it. And you could see where Walter was getting worn down from all the shots to his legs, Devlin work on his legs and everything. Because you can tell even by the end of the match when he hit the pinfall, when Walter hit his powerbomb one and he had his legs up because I guess felt like in the match like his legs are so much in pain. He had to lift them up because they were so much in pain just to make sure he got the pinfall.
Mm-hmm. That would explain that weird ass pinfall.
Oh,
that was some gay teeter-totter scissoring shit.
No, that was powerbomb pin number 3, I believe, in No Mercy. It's powerbomb pin number 3. Nobody chose that one because of that reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless it was a chick wrestler you were creating.
Yeah. What'd you think about the main event, Colin?
I thought Jordan Devlin shined in this match.
Mm-hmm.
The way that he sold the story, working the legs, taking it one step, trying to stay one ahead of him, taking the knee out again, taking the calf out, kicking the rope up into the hamstring, etc. I do want to call out one time though, it was hilarious. Devlin went to go chop Walter, and it just sounded like the biggest little baby slap you've ever heard in your life compared to the damn bottle rocket we heard go off later. Like, But no, I thought Devlin did a great job in this match. I would definitely wouldn't mind seeing him in the title picture again. Walter hit powerbomb number 1 or number 3 or whatever you want to call it out tonight. His average deal, but Walter, he got a good run for his money from Devlin, and honestly, this is the point where NXT UK needs to bring in that mid-card title, the WWE European title, and Devlin needs to hold it because of example of this match.
Yeah.
And every other match he's been in, basically.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, this is just
That's the icing on the cake right here. The candles have been lit. He needs a fucking belt.
I didn't think we were going to see all 3 of Devlin's greatest hits tonight. Honestly, I wasn't sure if he could hit a Uranagi on Walter.
Yeah.
Even with Walter's help. It wouldn't make sense because of the height difference. But I suppose you could still try it. And of course, the standing moonsault is no big deal. It doesn't matter how big your opponent is. But so immediately I'm questioning hit number 1. I had completely ruled out Devlin's greatest hit number 2, and they actually named this move for us. They called it the Devlin Side.
Yes.
That is where he pulls the guy up into a belly to back drop with a high angle, but he holds him there and then drops it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, surely he's not going to hit fucking Walter with this. And at one point he tries. And Walter counters it and does it back to him. That was fun.
Yes, it was.
But I'm going to back up towards the beginning of this match.
Rewind.
My first note here was from Walter, because here's something I had never seen before. An inverted ripcord. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, imagine a ripcord coming around from the front using a hammerlock position. And then spinning through it into, I think he hit him with a shoulder block tackle.
Yeah, it was shoulder block. Short, because I said shoulder block tackle, you're like, just going to add tackle to everything now.
Somewhere outside, Walter goes for that belly to back toss on the apron, and then Jordan counters. He hops up onto the apron, goes for that soccer kick, and Walter catches his leg, and then throws him up on his back and goes to throw him in the ring. Devlin gets caught up in the ropes with his leg and his wrist, and it looks a little sick.
Yeah.
I think this was a botch, but it looked like it worked.
Yep.
Devlin catches Walter's left leg, though, when he's coming back into the ring. And this is where he starts working on it. He starts beating on it where Walter's halfway in, like his leg's just in through the middle rope. And he ends this with a dragon screw leg whip that Walter can't go anywhere because he's behind the ropes. And this is what started the work on the leg. After this, Walter throws Devlin through the ropes. Oh, never mind. That's before. So, somewhere after this, Walter starts bleeding, as previously mentioned. And at one point, his whole face is nearly covered in blood. Like, it streaks everywhere. And at this time, on commentary, Nigel McGuinness decides to mention how there's starting to be bruising on Walter's left leg. And I'm like, yeah, or you could talk about the pool of blood on his face.
We're going to go ahead and ignore the proverbial crimson mask on his face. And look at those welts on his leg.
This is shoot blood. Like, we know you didn't plan this. Like, at least talk about it. Jesus Christ, his face is covered in blood, man. I don't even see the bruise that he's trying to talk about. Distracting us. Shortly after this, we get the chop that everybody's talking about, and this was possibly the sickest sounding chop I've ever seen Walter hit. As he
And
catches,
probably that Jordan Devlin ever felt.
well, Devlin goes for a kick on him, and he grabs it, and then he throws it down, and boom! Fuck! That
Yes.
firecracker. Yeah, Jesus, that was so loud. Devlin attempts a crossbody, I think off the middle, and Walter catches him. And then drapes him over the top rope and comes down with that palm down chop to the chest. And fuck. Oh, and then, so Devlin comes down off of that, and Walter nails him with an Austrian suplex. That's what we call his German suplex.
We don't call it a German suplex, we call it an Austrian one.
Near fall.
Jordan Devlin bounced.
Now, Walter, after the near fall, Walter attempts the powerbomb #1, but Devlin, like, jumps over and rolls through, goes for a roll-up pin attempt, near fall. Somewhere after this, we get the breakdown. Walter gets a few chops in. Devlin gets a horde of kicks in on Walter's leg, which is already starting to give out on him. At one point, he had tried that sit down senton on Devlin while he was down, and his leg gave out, and he fell across Devlin's face on his way down. That was awful looking. You can imagine, just he nearly teabagged his ass. Devlin ends up going for that greatest hits #2, that Devlin side, and Walter holds on. This is where he counters it and does his own. And then Devlin catches Walter on the top rope, and he goes for the Devlin side, and I think this was supposed to hit, but it didn't. It was a little bit dropped / botched because of the weight. But Devlin pulled him off, like he was standing on the middle rope, sitting on the top. Pulled him off and went for that, and kind of hit it.
A little bit.
Picked him back up, went for it, took a couple of tugs, but then he nailed it.
Yes.
And he got a near fall.
Yeah.
We knew this wasn't getting the pinfall. He goes for a third, or maybe a fourth at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe a fifth. I don't
No,
know.
it was fourth, because like the third one he nailed. Third
But
time was a charm.
Walter counters. Again, he holds on, and instead of doing, his own Devlin side, he hits him with a clothesline that just rocks Devlin. Picks him up. Powerbomb #1 into, again, the teeter-totter.
Yeah, teeter-totter pin.
Like, he rolls him over and then puts all of his weight across his legs to where Walter's legs were up in the air. Again, kind of a gay teeter-totter. Anyway, Walter gets the pinfall. Of course, we knew he was going to get the win. He's the champ, man. Devlin just looks good going into this and looks even better coming out of it, honestly, I think.
Yeah, he did.
This is not the end of the main event, though. Pete Dunne now comes out. And he's got a mic with him. He's in street clothes. He gets in the ring, and all he says to Walter is, "Give me my rematch." Doesn't ask, doesn't request, demands his rematch, and Walter just nods several times.
Mm-hmm.
And then holds up the title with his arm behind his back.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we're going to get the rematch. And I don't think there's any of us here that aren't looking forward to that rematch. Especially if it's at a pay-per-view. Whenever we might get another one of those.
Right.
So, that brings us to the end of the main event. And here on the NXT party, we rate the main event using good old NXT. Out of 5 spots of NXT, let's start with Colin. Where do you rate this main event?
Well, I give it a 3.5, 3 3/4, 3 3/4. Actually, no, screw it. I'm going 4. I'm going 4-star, or 4 spots of T. Sorry,
It's cool.
4 spots of T.
It's a weird gimmick to remember every time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with it's your rule, right, Stephen? If for a good show, you give it another.
No, not a good
quarter
show,
spot.
sir. For a great show.
It's gotta be a great show.
It's got to be better than good. Really,
Yeah,
really good.
It's got to be logged. It's got to be better than bad.
So
It's
it was
good.
a lot better than last week. So I'm going to give it the extra quarter-star this week.
That is a good reason to give it a 1/4 star, being so much better. And thank God for this, the main event and the opening match.
Yeah.
Because the women's match was forgettable.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was so much better than last week's show. I totally agree with that extra star, 1/4 star. So you're going 4 1/4?
A quarter
Yes,
star
sir.
T.
Or 1/4 spot of T. Yes, see? Even I forget.
Yeah.
It's contrived. It's stupid. We should change it, but we're not gonna.
Nah.
Because why? Why?
Why? It still works, kinda. 70% of the time, all the time.
So Chris Mace.
16% of the time, every time. Sex Panther.
Nice. So Chris, where do you rate the main event?
I'm gonna go with 4.5 spots of tea out of 5. I thought the main event was fucking badass. Like I say, I'm not giving it a 5 because it's nowhere near Walter and Pete Dunne by any damn means, but I'm giving it 4.5 cups of tea, and I like the after the match where Pete Dunne came out there and pretty much just said, give me my rematch. Walter shakes his head. Good way to end the show. 4.5.
Jerry?
Devlin looks like he actually gave Walter problems. There was actually, in this match, I was already paying full-on attention to everything that was going on. Same way I did with Devlin versus Dunne. And it looked like Devlin had a hell of a lot, easier time with Walter than he did with Pete Dunne. So that kind of gave me a slight glimpse of hope that maybe Devlin was going to either pull off the upset or come even closer to beating Walter. But at the same time, he took the fight to Walter. It was a very physical match. It was a brutal match. It was everything I was hoping it was going to be. And the only reason I think I wouldn't give it 5 would be the fact that it wasn't for the title. If there's title implications involved and more of a big fight feel, possibly in overseas and not in Brooklyn, I think I probably would have given it a 5, but I'm going to give it a 4.5 because it was brilliantly executed. Both superstars came out looking great at the end of this thing, and it's set up perfectly for Dunne and Walter, because now it's like, okay, you beat Devlin, I beat Devlin, I was champion, you're current champion. Let's do this.
Oh, let me poop on the party, man. I don't know what match you guys saw, but maybe it's just you guys are so much happier than you were at the end of the show last week.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this match was nothing special. This was everything I figured it would be for the main event of an NXT UK show. And nothing more. In fact, there were several botches in the match that kind of bring it down a little bit. There was no point in this match that I thought Jordan Devlin had a chance to win. There was no near fall for him. I mean, he had near falls, but not ones where you thought that Walter might not kick out.
Oh, yeah.
However, there were spots where I wasn't sure that Devlin was going to kick out, and he did. It made him look good, but he already looked good. He already needs a mid-card title to hold for 3 years straight. Devlin deserves something like that, but this match wasn't anything special. What I really loved about the match was the story of the leg.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to bring up from, I was going to give it 3 3/4. I'm going to bring it up to a 4 because of that and because of Pete Dunne and the fact that we're going to get the rematch.
Yeah.
That's included in the main event. I'll give it a little bit extra. So I will go with 4, but that's not off the back of a great show, and because the middle match was very forgettable.
I think it's all about Nina Samuels, but I thought that promo was actually pretty cool. But that's just me. I look more into cinematography when it comes to that kind of stuff, and her delivery was great. So that's the only reason I was actually pretty high on that.
So I'm gonna be the low man on the totem pole here. I'm calling it 4, and 4 is nothing to fucking balk at or anything, but I don't think I saw the same match you guys saw.
Well, you can call them pretty much probably in the same boat. Me and Chris are ones that thought a little more highly of it.
Just to tell you of the aspect that affected me the most, if Devlin had cleanly executed that Devlin side off the middle rope,
Yeah.
I probably would be calling this a 4.5.
Yeah.
But just that botch there, just like
It kind of killed your mood.
that was the one thing in the whole match that would have been special.
Yeah.
That would have been something I've never seen before.
Mhm.
Now, granted, I didn't think he could execute a regular Devlin side, and he did, but without the pause.
That would have actually beaten Mansoor's DT that he did if he had pulled off Devlin's side.
But certainly Walter's chop did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Walter's.
That was the sickest move of the night for me.
God.
Just you can't fake that sound.
No, you
Wow.
just can't.
Oh, poor Devlin. I think the crowd might have been chanting at one point, one more time.
They're saying one more time, and Devlin was like, no.
That was
please
at the breakdown.
God, no.
That was at the breakdown because Walter started off with some chops while holding on to Devlin's arm.
Yeah.
He hit one that just cracked, and the crowd's like, one more time. And Devlin's getting up from that first one like, no more times. And he gets it again.
Wow.
But yeah, just the botches in the match just kind of brought it down. Plus, again, like you said, the fact that it wasn't a title match.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that brings us to the end of this episode of the NXT party.
Yes.
We do too many shows. So, where can we find you, Colin?
You can find me on Twitter at Colin26Andrew. You can find me on my YouTube channel, Colin Andrew, COLIN space ANDREW. I have a series I do called Chopping Block. Let's see, you can keep supporting No DQ, NoDQ.com for shirts. Pick up some fine merchandise like Mr. Stefan is wearing right there.
Yep. If you want an orange shirt, I got it for you.
Yeah. Don't add me on Facebook if you ever find me on there. Not cool. Keep supporting the channels. I'll let you all do your own plugs, but yeah, keep supporting everybody that you see on the screen. Keep supporting Noah Foster, because 2 of 5 Live matters.
NoDQ.com/Noah.
Yeah. So, and yeah. Thanks for having me on, gentlemen. I appreciate it. It was fun. It's good to be back.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
But it is what it is.
Where can we find you, Chris?
You can follow me on Facebook at Christopher Edward Mace, support NoDQ.com, support Aftermath Wrestling, support the Simple Man Noah Foster Show, 205 Live Matters. I said support Colin's new show, The Chopping Block. And pretty much that's about it, because I can't do what Jerry likes to do, so I had to go to a 5 Live Matters, so I got to shut up. So there you go.
And you can find Cindy G at NoDQ.com/Cindy, CINDY.
Yeah.
She is another member of the NX team.
Yeah, NXT team. Yes.
Hashtag NoDQ NX team.
Yeah.
A lot of initialisms here.
It's awesome now.
Well, I want to thank you guys for being on the show. And if you'd like to be on a future episode of the NXT party, come help us review an episode of NXT UK and have a spot of NXT with us. You can find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. Or if you just want to find me on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find this gentleman on Twitter.
At NoDQ General, and also on my Facebook group, Armbar, all capital, ARM. Wow, I botched it. ARM.
It was my fault with the slurping.
Yeah, it was.
What's that group called again, Jerry?
Armbar, all capital, ARMBAR, exclamation point.
Nice.
As you see, I have my administrators and moderators sitting with me, and we'll add you into the group as long as you're active. And if you're not active, I'll kick your ass out.
Yeah, he doesn't care about numbers, folks.
I've knocked out 12 people this week.
Wow.
12.
I deleted one.
Thank you.
Speaking of numbers, you can find our channel, Aftermatch Wrestling, on YouTube. That's all one word, AFTERMATCH, Wrestling. And that is where these videos go about a half a day before they show up on NoDQ's YouTube channel. And we also have some exclusive content. We do Rated R Rapport. It's where we keep these guys after the show and just bullshit about wrestling. We might do that again tonight.
Sure.
And that'll be some content up probably this weekend. And we've also got the Rated R Remix, where we do some fantasy booking. Recently, we did some fantasy firing.
That was a good one.
Man, we put a lot of people on the chopping block. Simple as that. I also did an after-match presents with Colin here, where we had just some Q&A, some one-on-one with a member of the NXT team. One of the two here of the 4 horsemen of the NXT team. Of the aftermatch. Ooh, I like that.
Yes.
So, find us on Aftermatch Wrestling. If you like our video, you should click the like button. That's underneath me. If you like all of our videos, you should probably click the subscribe button. That's underneath Jerry. And if you are subscribed to Aftermatch Wrestling, click that little bell icon, because at 100 viewers, we are going to start doing our NXT review, What's NXT Live. And that'll let you know when the shows go up. My schedule changes Monday. I go to evenings, and these shows are going to start going up at completely different times of the day. We're going to start recording at different times of the day. If you are a morning person, you might be able to do our show before you go to work. So hit us up. If you don't have Twitter, if you don't have Facebook, leave down in the comments a way for us to get a hold of you. If you've only got email, that's how we got Chris on the show. So it works.
Yeah.
So join us next week for What's NXT, for another episode of the NXT Party. Find us on YouTube and join us for the Rated R Report that we will no doubt do after this show ends. And I believe in a couple of weeks we will be having a predictions video for
Money in the Bank.
WWE Money in the Bank. I don't know, are we having an NXT takeover anytime soon?
Well, I think I just heard that
I
San
believe
Jose.
in June.
I heard San Jose got canceled in general. So that could be way up in the air at this point.
They're trying to find a new venue for it, but they're still planning for June.
It's a lighter few weeks than we thought it was going to be, but join us nonetheless for the Cleaver Colin Andrew, for the Holiday Chris Mace, for the General Jerry Slaughter. I am the Wizard of No DQ, Stephen Osborne. Thanks for having a spot of NXT with us, and we will see you in NXT time.
Cheerio.
Have a good night, y'all.
Well, I thought this was America.